Alright, in today's video, we're going to do a modified version of the Satterly 10 round load workup in my 6mm arc. We're going to use the 95 grain Berger VLD hunting bullet, Powerpro 2000 MR, and the Winchester No. 41 small rifle primer. We're going to start out at 30.2 grains and work our way up to 32.0 grains in 2/10 increments, shooting one shot each. Now we're going to use a cartridge overall length today of 2.275. This is about 13 thousandths off the lance in my rifle. This is fire formed 6.5 Grundle brass. So let's get out on the range and let's see if we can find some velocity nodes. All right, we're out here on the range. This is my 22-inch Savage 110 Switchback mounted in an MDT XRS chassis with an Athlon 4-20 Helos BTR GEN2 optic. We're doing ladder tests with Powerpro 2000 MR. With Allliant Powerpro 2000 MR, we're starting at 30.2 grains, shooting one shot, going up in 2/10 increments all the way up to 32 grains. It is cold out. As you can tell, I have gloves on here. So it's like 20 degrees, a little bit windy, but since we're just shooting the ladder here, it really shouldn't matter. We are going to shoot at that target down there to see where point of impact is. We're gathering velocity through our lab radar. The gun is cold. The ammo is room temperature. I just took it out of the house, so it's not out here freezing cold. So let's go ahead and let's see how our velocity is going to look. All right, so first one here at 30.2 grains. All right, that one was 2,708 feet per second. We're going to move up to 30.4 grains. That was 2,719 feet per second. Moving up to 30.6 grains. That was 2,746 feet per second. Move it up to 30.8 grains. That was 2,773 feet per second. Now 31 grains. That was 2,803 feet per second. 31.2 grains. That was 2,800 feet per second. 31.4 grains is next. That one was 28.37. Moving up to 31.6 grains. That one was 28.45. Brass still looks good. Now we are going up to 31.8 grains. That was 28.95. Brass still looks pretty good. And our last one at 32 grains here. Alright, that one was 28.90. So looking through the scope, it looks like these bullets are going to try to group, even though we did go over 2 grains of powder. We still had a decent looking group over there. Let's get back to the bench. We'll throw up a graph and we'll see if we can find any of those nodes we want to reload at. Alright, so taking a look at this target here, I'm really optimistic. I mean, all of these from 30.2 grains to 32 grains shot a 1.23 inch group. So I'm thinking that we're going to have some good groups going here. Now, taking a look at our velocity that I've thrown up on the screen, got that graph there, and taking a look at that, we have a couple things that look like nodes. Looks like we have a node somewhere around 31 grains. Also another one between 31.4 and 31.6. Now at the very top end at 32 grains, it kind of looks like we have a node there as well. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to take that top end load, because why not take more velocity? The node looks about the same as the other two, so we're going to go ahead and try that. So I'm going to load up 5 real quick at 31.9 grains with the same overall length, and we're going to go out and shoot a 5-shot group. Alright, so we're back out here on the range. The gun has cooled down. It's been about 15 minutes. I went ahead back in the house to load up 5 shots at 31.9 grains, like we just talked about on the bench. Everything's the same. Weather, everything is exactly the same. I didn't even pick the gun up and bring it inside. So we're gonna magazine feed these because we've got 5. Let's see if the barrel is warm at all. Nope, pretty much cold to the touch. So let's go ahead and see if this 10-shot load development's gonna work. At a minimum here, to be a success, I'd say we need to have pretty good SDs, pretty good groups, but I guess we'll find out here. All right. So I'd say that's pretty disappointing. And we ended up with 2893, which is about where we expected to be, but we ended up with a 14.4 SD, and our group looks bad. It seems like the method continues to fail me on both fronts, both with group size and with SDs. All right, let's get over there and let's take a closer look at the target. All right, so as you can see here, our 31.9 grain load did not shoot well. We shot a 1.47 inch group at 2,893 feet per second with a 14.0 SD. Now, this is very surprising to me because we shot a better group with 10 shots, all at different charge weights. Also, we didn't accomplish our single-digit SD. So I was pretty disappointed overall with this. Now, I basically slept on this for a night and thought about what I wanted to do next. I was gonna just call it a day with that, then I kind of thought about it, and our 31.9 grain load at our overall length of 2.275, it wasn't a compressed load, there was still a little bit of room in the case. And I thought maybe that's causing our poor SD, the fact that we have too much case volume left over. So what I did was I ended up loading 5 more rounds and we ended up at 2.240 cartridge overall length. This was where I determined that pretty much all of our case capacity was used up by our powder and we had none of that empty space for air. Now this is not a compressed load, but I would say this is a full case. So we're gonna go out on the range and we're gonna shoot that 5-shot group as well, and then we'll see you back on the bench. All right, we're back out here at the range. We already talked about what we're doing as far as load goes. The temperature is in the 30s, a little bit breezy. Again, coming from the same direction it was earlier in this video. It is the next day. Gun is cold. Gonna get velocity through our Labradar again. We'll see if these group any better than the last one there. All right, so let's take a look at our velocity numbers here. We were at 2884 average with a 7.2 SD. So we accomplished today what we couldn't accomplish the other day. The group doesn't look great, but it looks like it was trying to group. Let's get over there. Let's check out the target. All right, so we're back at the bench here for the last time. And looking at our 31.9 grain load at that 2.240 cartridge overall length. We shot a better group at 1.0 inches. Still not the best group, but this looked like it was trying to group together there. We ended up at 2884 feet per second, so a little bit slower than our previously recorded velocity, but now we ended up with that 7.2 SD, so good single-digit SD. So this is now starting to look a little bit promising. Powerpro 2000 MR is sometimes tough to get those single-digit SDs, and maybe we found it here. I think we could probably tune this load and get it somewhere around 3/4 of an inch rather than an inch with some seating depth changes. Probably would go shorter with seating depth rather than longer because I don't want to end up with the same problem we had earlier with too much case capacity left over. Now our brass looked fine with all these loads. There were no pressure signs on any of it, not even the top load, so we could probably push up higher as far as velocity goes as well. Don't know what we'll do in the future, but we'll find out. So you guys will have to comment down below what you guys think about this test. I think the best way to do a velocity ladder like this would probably be to use more shots at each charge, because I think that one shot is just not enough to give you good numbers. But I don't know, maybe it worked out here. We ended up with that 7.2 SD and a decent group we could likely tune. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you like this different style of video, kind of more of a test rather than really trying to work up a load. Now, I guess this load would be something that you could work from, but we'll see what we do in the future. So thank you guys for watching, thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you next time.